And there we go.
Are you sure?
I sent out the.
That was
Wow,
pretty dramatic.
That
Look,
was like that actually made like my anxiety spike. Like, oh god.
Look, I am a man of drama. We know.
Hey,
this.
listen. I do things for dramatic effect too. Like, I totally get it.
Yeah. I'm an editor. I
Hell
edit.
yeah.
I create moments. Sometimes long moments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Short ones.
He's a drama boy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dan's the guy to walk into the office early Monday morning, see Debbie's cup of coffee sitting on the counter, knock it over, and then say, "Charlene, I can't believe you did that," and then just sit back and watch what happens. That's Dan.
But here's the thing.
Wow.
I knock it off lightly, just like.
Right. You don't smack it across the room.
It's just a nice little slide.
Like a cat.
It's a nice little slide, and then I'm halfway across the room where I'm like, oh, who did that?
Oh my god.
Was it you? And then of course it is.
But it was you.
Of course.
It was you the entire time.
Yeah,
you got to make your own entertainment on Monday mornings in the office with Dan, right?
Yeah. I'm off for a week, so I've got to do that in my own office, and I could call some people on Discord and be like, "Hey, you want to hang out at my office?" And then like just knock something off my desk, but that's not nearly as fun, and I have to clean up after myself.
That sounds so fun though. With the whole COVID situation, like my life didn't change all that much.
Yeah.
In terms of work, but it did get more aggravating in the weirdest ways.
Really?
It really showed us like changes that needed to happen, and because I work at a hospital,
right?
And security is supposed to do certain things. Like right off the bat, security is supposed to do certain things. We weren't doing those things. Like, I kid you not. You could walk right in and walk right by my desk, and I wouldn't even look up. Hey, they look like they know where they're going, and that's just how it was. No visitor log, no nothing. Well, now we got to screen you and write your name and number down so we know who you are.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
So it's like, thanks, COVID?
Yeah. We got one good thing from this.
That's the unfortunate part, though. People could just walk in, and I'm like, well, they look like they know where they were going. Well, if they were going upstairs to do something, God forbid, right? I wouldn't know until... I've seen No Country for Old Men. I know it can happen.
Yep.
Exactly. So basically, it's just that everything's just too quiet, too calm, too safe. And I'm like, you're just waiting for that to happen. And I'm from New York. So trust me, I'm sitting here going like, y'all just leaving it wide open for something to happen. You're just too trusting.
Time to tighten up the ship, as it were.
Yep.
A little bit. Yeah, it has helped a little bit. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a positive change, because that's a little
like security doing more more of what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine, if you can remember the movie The Dark Knight. I
remember.
Of course, Christian Bale, Batman, you get the Joker and all that kind of stuff. The scene where Joker goes in and he goes into Harvey Dent's his room.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did the most wanted terrorist in the city, in the middle of a crisis, walk through this hospital, the biggest hospital in Gotham, straight into Harvey Dent's room? Well, that's how. Nobody looked up. You can just walk right into
It's
the
amazing.
hospital.
And the way he was dressed too, just kind of was like, wow.
Well, wait a second. I don't think you're a nurse.
I've been watching
Invincible lately.
I've been watching Invincible lately, and there's a scene in that where like they go to change into their super suits at the high school dumpster, and like Mark's like, aren't we worried that somebody's gonna catch us? And she goes, please, Mark, nobody looks up.
That's the sad part. It's a sad truth. It's a sad truth.
Well,
oh my God.
Like
here
we
are.
One good thing. Here we are.
We're getting by. We're getting by. I feel like it's not that I'm not worried about COVID anymore. It's I think that things are starting to sort of calm down, but I live up in Maine. So we're already like social, like we're already social distancing as it is. Like that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it was never like, it wasn't another state where it was just like, it was crazy. Like my
Yeah.
family's in New York. And so, New York was a different situation. And yeah, we got very lucky.
Yeah. Very much so.
But yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we're good to begin, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, is that enough for the cold open there,
I think-
Mr. Finity?
I think so. I think so. I believe so.
Oh my God.
For clarity's sake, everybody, we're starting a show here. That what Dan just did is the equivalent of walking into the office early Monday morning and very lightly tipping
Yeah.
the cup off of the counter.
Oh
Welcome,
no! How
ladies
dare
and
you,
gentlemen.
TBL? Okay.
Oh my God.
Welcome to episode 274 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to this week in Destiny. Back once again, we've got our usual roundtable of hosts, Mr. Dan Finity, the one and only. Of course, I am the Black Link, and joining us as our special guest this week is the one, the only, Silverspeare.
Oh my
Thanks
God.
so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here, and I gotta say, maybe it's the mean girl in me, but I got a bit of a chuckle out of how nervous you were to be on this show because
No.
it's this show.
Yeah.
It's not like it's
We're
an
You know
easy
what?
special.
Like, I mean, I know, but like, maybe I regard you so highly that it's like, oh my God, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of people I look up to.
Well, given the start of this show, I can already tell you're gonna be
Yeah.
great. You're gonna be great on here. This is good stuff.
I'm chilling. We're getting there.
Good. It's a chill environment. And we're certainly happy
it's-
to have you here.
It definitely is. Thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, a lot of the people who are watching this show probably have heard of Silver. You guys follow her over on the good old Twitches and Twitter. But for those who may not be acquainted with you, why don't you take a bit of time to explain who you are and what it is you do?
So I am mainly a Destiny 2 streamer. I do both PvP and PvE because like you can't do one without the other. I could not solely play one over the other. I need both to, relax. People mostly know me because I tend to go around Twitter and Twitch dropping love bombs, which, I don't
Yes.
know if you're acquainted with that, but, they call me the love bomb specialist because I just like to just brighten people's day, something small just can make such a big difference. And, it can be as small as dropping 100 likes on your Twitter and blowing up your notifications, or, dropping a bit pyramid in your chat, like I just like to make people's lives better. So overall, that's just what I, aim to do is to, create a good time, good vibes, keep things positive. And that's basically it. And I just sit and vibe, play Destiny, hang out with friends, judge nobody because skill's not
Right.
important. And that's basically what I do.
Sick.
Try to set, standards and teach people to be kind and, just always be kind, really.
Yeah.
Because I just seen so much negativity and it's just, I don't want any of it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I work too hard. I work too hard when I'm not streaming or I'm not here doing what I love, that I just cannot be bothered with that. Like, this is my sanctuary, and like,
Yeah,
don't disturb my peace. And I also want to protect other people that are seeking that.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just here to chill. Please, like,
That's good.
don't bring that in here, because this is what I take with me when I go back into my work week to keep me sane, because I obviously don't like my job.
Right.
And I look forward to coming back. So it's like, I just try to create that environment for myself and for others, so that it's just special and unique and welcoming.
What led you to play Destiny?
Yeah.
Ironically, Destiny 1
Mm-hmm.
was actually really my first video game.
Really?
My best friend at the time was like, yo, like you should like play this game. And so I bought my PS4, bought a PS4, and I bought Destiny. And that's where it started. I started like very early 2015, so I wasn't like launch, but I wasn't that late into the game. And I just fell in love with it. I just I have never ever like stopped playing this game. I didn't like stop for Curse of Osiris. I didn't stop in any of these droughts. I just, I just somehow passed the time, and yeah,
Yeah.
it shows when people go like, "Oh my god, your armor's so good." Yeah, because I played Trials of the Nine. I
Yeah.
invested in my fashion in the future.
Mhm.
You can't get these anymore. So
Feels
yeah.
real bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like late in the video game world in that sense, but I just
Mhm.
fell in love with it, and that was that at the time as well. I was living with my parents, that was also how I got away from the real world, was Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just nothing like it, really.
So, so you weren't really a gamer at all before Destiny.
Truthfully, no.
That's incredible. So,
I dabbled in games here and there. I had a
Mhm.
Game Boy there, but I didn't play like Pokemon. I didn't play all these games that obviously people play. So I don't have the like, oh, what was your first like video game console? And I'm sitting here like, my parents didn't let me have those things. I had to buy my PS4 as my own graduation gift to myself. That's how I, because I was about to graduate that year. That's how I
Mhm.
ended up with a console in the first place, because my parents are just like, there's
wild.
just different generation, immigrants.
Yeah.
They find video games to not be what we think of it as. So yeah, I had to kind of do my own thing, and get my hands on it.
So
Oh
I
man.
find that really interesting. So, because Destiny as a game, even Destiny 1 back then, is a pretty hardcore experience to just jump in on as one of your first big forays into gaming. How did all of
Yeah.
that work?
I was just super casual in the beginning, honestly. Yeah, I was just super casual. Like I would just like, figure things out as I went along. I was more invested in the game than the friend that got me into it. Eventually we were no longer playing together anymore. Ironically,
Mhm.
we played a lot of Crucible back then. I was
Oh,
very
yeah.
bad. I was very bad at the game, but that's all we did was play Crucible, and that was mostly what I did was that. And eventually, he wouldn't play as often anymore, and I would just dabble into like all the PVE content that needed to be done and stuff I needed help on. And eventually, I was able to get into raids, and it was an experience. I didn't just dive into it. Like it took me a long time to actually raid.
Right.
'Cause people could be mean.
Mhm.
LFG's a nasty place, and I didn't even know about LFG back then. I just didn't have
You ain't
friends.
lying.
Yeah. Oh
One of my
man.
earliest LFG experiences, I think it was either on the 100.io or somewhere else,
Oh,
but
man. Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
so I signed up for this raid,
Mhm.
and like as LFG is, like some people like hopped off, some people like stayed in, but I didn't realize that it was entirely Spanish speaking. Croto's
Oh
in,
no.
and these guys are trying to talk to me. I was like, oh no, I I and I just like eventually Homer Simpsoned out of the group,
into the bushes,
just back into the bushes. I feel bad about it, but what are
even
you
to
gonna
this
do?
day.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say in my heart of hearts, yeah, I still feel bad about that. I don't like leaving. I don't like leaving for any reason.
Actually, it's funny because oh my god, I used to do something like it, but because people were mean, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
a woman, and oh my god, you can only imagine, right? I would play my power went out. Oh, unplug
Oh,
my
yeah.
internet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I would
Mhm.
do it because I had no choice. Sometimes the anxiety was just too much. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like trying to play a game and you're being mean to me. Like, bruh, I don't want to deal with
Yeah.
this. And I was just like, you literally pulled the plug on
Pull the
that
Ethernet out.
like that anxious situation. You just pull the plug and you're just over it. Yeah. I always feel really bad when people talk about like, oh, like I miss Halo, and I'm like, I didn't grow up with Halo. Like I cannot relate to
Yeah.
that. I have no idea what that feels like. Oh, but like the games are still like the nostalgia that you feel and experience with that is just like I can't relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't. Yeah. Yeah. The
But
closest thing I have is looking back to D1 from D2.
yeah.
That's the best I can do. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the entry point. That was your entry
Yep.
point into
Yep.
the greater
Yep.
world of gaming, and I find that
Yep.
absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
As the perspective, like I said, to go from not really being into gaming that much to diving into something, an experience as deep as Destiny is, and then ultimately with its expansion with Destiny 2, man. So we go from D1, we'll bring it to D2. We're in the current season of The Chosen. We're almost to the end of it. I think we got what, 3 weeks left?
Yeah, 3, 4
3
weeks.
left.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You're at this point now where you're actively streaming this game all the time.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Destiny 2 experience thus far?
Cool. This game has been through a lot.
Right?
It's been through a lot. Like, oh my god, I've been here for every like moment of it, and so I've just been on the whole ride, and it's just been like, oh my god. I'm just not one of
Yeah.
those people that like, goes like, oh, Bungie. Like I don't I try to have faith in their vision, and it's not always gonna be executed immediately or the way we would
Yeah.
like. Some changes really sucked. Like the first time that Bungie, quote unquote, broke my heart with a change I did not agree with was back in D1. You remember this one? No more unicorning people.
Yep.
I used to get triples and like quadruples easily by doing that, and then they stopped that in its tracks.
Well, I feel
like,
seen.
No. I was like, no. And that's where I learned that it's like, well, there's nothing you can do if Bungie makes a change.
They giveth and they taketh away.
Yep.
Pretty
Often.
much. Pretty much.
Which we'll be talking about in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because that's actually kind of a perfect reference point because, of course, with the TWAB this week, we got some information about an upcoming Sandbox update that we're supposed to be getting sometime before the end of the month of April. And as a part of that, they're going to be addressing 2 very popular shotguns and a very popular perk on those shotguns, Astral Horizon from Trials of Osiris, and of course, Fellwinter's Lie. Bungie is going to be nerfing the quick draw perk and outright removing it from those 2 shotguns.
Yeah.
So like not only is quick draw getting slapped, I think it's having its plus 100 to handling changed so that it only lasts for a second after you swap to that weapon, or it just goes away whenever you ADS. So not only is quick draw being nerfed, it's being removed from the 2 weapons that basically used it most. And
that is literally pain.
Right?
Yeah, because funny story, I used Thorn and Fellwinter, and once I got a decent hammer, I used Hammer and Astro, and I got the Astro. I'm talking about when the shotgun first came out. I got the quick draw 1 opening shot, and so they are literally taking the 2 shotguns that I use away, the 2 most fun weapons that I use away, and I'm like, let me ape. And so I feel like I've been grounded. I don't know if you saw that TikTok video that D Flawless made. Yeah, I'm literally the one, going like, but I just want to play with my shotgun. Yeah, I feel like I get grounded.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same. Fellwinter's
Daddy Bungo came in and just, it's over.
Clapped. Cheeks got clapped.
Yeah,
I just want to sit back and ape things, and Bungie doesn't want me to do that anymore. Exactly. Apparently, it's those 2 shotguns have certainly been the topic of conversation for a while, especially Astral Horizon. Considering if you got one previously, it could get quick draw. Yes. Current versions of it can't get quick draw, and so I knew Bungie was going to do something about the perk because you can pull up Trials Report or Light.gg and see some of the most used weapons out there, and it's those 2 shotguns over basically every other shotgun. But it doesn't make the pain any easier to deal with. I almost wish they could have found a better way to deal with this. I mean, even if they just wanted to tune handling the way they did, I think they could have done that and maybe left quick draw on those shotguns.
I feel like this is just too much.
Yeah.
Like I know, like for example, like the D Flawless video, like he made it funny and exaggerated, but it really felt like, what the heck? It was almost like you just was like, oh, like, you want to talk? Boom, the perks are gone. It's like, What?
Yeah.
We went from 0 to 60. What?
Yeah.
There's
in
a
no
couple steps in there of fine tuning that you skipped over. What on
time.
earth? I was just like completely blown when I read that and was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Bungie, it's never like that middle ground of tuning. It's
There was
either
no middle ground here. I'm
yeah,
just
it's either
like I'm
super
just
buff or
mind I'm
super
mind
nerd.
blown. I'm mind blown by it, honestly.
I
And
don't know. As as somebody who doesn't play as much Crucible, and I mean, you do see those weapons a lot of the time.
everywhere.
Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
Matter of fact,
You
let
see
me pull
them.
some of the
You
numbers
see them in
now.
Iron Banner. You see them like in quick
Seeing
play. You see 'em
Mindbender
everywhere.
come back though.
I think
Right?
Yep.
anything
Every
that allows you to like find an alternate. I don't know. Where I'm at right now is okay. Maybe they did need a little bit of a smack. You know,
Yes.
like with
Yep.
with every new meta, there's always something else that picks up out of the ashes though. So
Oh yeah.
Yep.
whatever you have in your vault, just play around with it and try it out and see what you like. And just because it's not
oh my
quick draw
God.
doesn't mean it's not garbage. It means it's garbage.
The thing for me is that I'm a bit of an aggressive player, and Fellwinter kind
Right?
of just spoiled me
It was
with that.
perfect.
Now I'm gonna get punished hard for my play
Yeah.
style, and I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
looking forward to that at all.
You know, I was really interested in seeing exactly how ubiquitous Felwinter's Lie and Astral Horizon are in Crucible. And so I pulled up our Destiny tracker. I'm checking out the PvP meta.
Mhm.
Felwinter's currently has an 11.8% usage rate. So 11% of the Crucible population is using Felwinter's, which I think
Mhm.
is a lot. Not as much as I was expecting, though. I was expecting maybe 15% or more. Astral
Mhm.
Horizon, 4.4%. Barely barely anybody. It's only really seeing use in the highest levels of play, of course, because it's a trials weapon, and it being a kinetic weapon is perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're less used than I was initially expecting,
Mhm.
and that only makes the pain worse.
Is 11% is pretty ubiquitous.
Oh
When you
my
think about
I would
it.
God.
say 15% or more would be ubiquitous, but 11% is still a fairly high number.
Yeah, I think over
I'm
10% for it.
I'm suddenly reminded of. Do you remember when Clever Dragon got slapped? Because
Oh man, yeah,
everyone was. Me too. I mean, everybody was using it,
Yeah.
and it just had to be like aggressively knocked off of the top.
yeah.
The
yeah.
meta had to be completely like shifted, and that's what this is reminding me of. I feel like nothing has been as aggressive as this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's gonna suck having to adapt, but I will, because like I hate to say it, but not really.
Yeah.
I don't think Bungie can do anything to make me stop playing this game. Like, just gotta ride with the changes, man. You just gotta
Yeah.
ride with it, and just trust that they are listening, but they have a lot of feedback to find a middle ground or something that
Yeah.
fits, or at least to try out. And I don't completely agree with this one, but hey, let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
When 1 in 10
Yeah.
10 players are using
Yeah.
the shotgun, you're at least gonna run into one in a lobby.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
And at the very least, I'm glad that if they were targeting nerfs at stuff like Fell Winters and Astral Horizon, they did it by going after a specific perk on it that just makes your snap aiming a little bit easier, rather than doing what they usually do in cutting the aim, or like the aim assist or the range
yeah.
Oh
in
my
half.
God.
I was worried that they were
yes.
going to body the range of Astral Horizon and Fell Winters, and I'm very happy to see they didn't do that. They're just taking down quick draw, which hopefully, the positive benefit I'm hoping to see from this is it'll allow some of the other special weapons to really kind of engage with the aping that you can kind of pull off in this game, especially ever since we got stasis abilities. You can gap close. You could already gap close hilariously easy in Destiny PvP. With the addition of stasis abilities, it's even easier. So I'm hoping fusion rifles might actually get a chance to see some actual usage in PvP moving forward. But
Oh,
it
heck
doesn't
yeah.
make the pain hurt any less.
Fusion rifles are so frustrating to counter.
Yep.
especially when
be,
you're
yeah.
not expecting it. And then it's like, for me anyway, it almost takes the first 7 deaths to kind of be like, maybe I shouldn't be pushing this fusion like this.
Don't push that
I'm
lane.
one of those people.
No. Oh man.
Rush it with a shotgun. Oh
When
man.
fusion rifles come back, that's when Aura arises
Yeah.
out of the depths.
Oh yeah.
He just comes back.
Yep.
Hand me the
Yep.
errands.
Like, who knows? Maybe the quick draw won't be the end of the world, but it won't be the end of the world.
Yeah.
But but still, it's like you're gonna have to play smarter, and they can't just have that forgiving snap where you can just like hit people with it.
Mhm.
Like I could technically like team wipe with that shotgun, and I don't know. I guess I have to see the changes to be like, oh crap, I can't do this anymore. I have to experience it to really understand like the significant difference of what they're doing with this.
And they're replacing quick draw with what? Surplus?
It's
Yes.
surplus
weapons?
and it's surplus on new and existing drops of Fellwinter's Lie and Astral Horizon. So it's being removed off of the weapons that previously had it. as well.
People have been mentioning Ophidian Aspect and Dragon Shadow. And then there's people that are like, yo, stop talking about that. They're gonna nerf those too.
Right.
Stop it. Because but Bungie knows. Like they know what they put out there. They know that people are gonna shift to ways to make it work. And so you're gonna see a rise in Dragon Shadow. That's predictable,
Yeah.
To those who
100%.
really, really cannot live without it, they'll do it. Me, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Fashion is endgame. Hello?
You'll be very happy next season.
I know.
Finally.
Finally gonna have good gear and good looks, but Dragon Shadow just doesn't shade well. I'm sorry. It doesn't shade well at all.
Don't want a face on my tummy.
It's a gorgeous exotic. It just doesn't shade well. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. It what keeps the green?
The gold.
Yeah.
The gold, which is just like, first of all, no. No. Like I would rather it be like silver or like, you know what I mean? Like not yellow, gold, that's just like in one direction. So
yeah.
That like just like that,
Yeah.
That shade's a little better.
I'm also
I get that.
I'm seeing some videos about quick charge as well.
I have not played with Charger Light mods as much as I probably should.
Yeah. I know Nathan
I have heard that.
one. Nathan
I have heard that.
Yeah. Had one up about that. It's I don't know, like just something else to play around with. So
Right.
That might be where I go, I don't want to use Dragon Shadow.
Even the perk that they're replacing quick draw with, surplus, gives you increased handling and like reload speed and whatnot for keeping your abilities up. It's just you have to keep your abilities up.
Basically, don't use them is the point that they're trying to add. Which I mean, some people want that. They're like, I want less abilities and I want more gunfights, and it's like, well,
well,
good luck in a stasis crucible. Good luck.
Oh God.
Well, doesn't that in its own way like create like a risk reward situation?
Yes.
So yeah, increases handling, reload speed, and stability for each fully charged ability that you have. So I don't know. I think
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out in the Crucible or in Iron Banner next season. I think that's the biggest sandbox of it. So.
Oh my God.
Right. Yeah.
I love Crucible, but I don't know what it is. I just don't like Crucible. Not Crucible. I'm sorry. I don't like Iron Banner that much anymore. Yeah, if I don't need the pinnacles, I'm not gonna go in. Unless I'm like vibing with friends. I especially with Grandmasters out, like you're not gonna find me in Iron Banner. Like
there are better things to do. And
GMs is a specific section of the season, and Iron Banner is once every 4 weeks. Like I'm not missing out on anything.
Once a month or twice.
I'm not missing out on anything by not playing Iron Banner, that's a problem. If you don't care about Iron Banner, there's probably not enough incentive to play Iron Banner.
I care about Iron Banner.
I mean,
you pop a bubble on any of those points with Saint 14. People don't know how to react.
People just walk in. They just walk right into the coffee shop.
That's the funny part.
Meet
and
Mr. Fist.
Sometimes I'll be like, screw it, and I'll go in. And it won't end well because I'm just like, whatever. And I'm a hunter main, so yikes.
D1 taught me one thing: don't go into that bubble. It's a bad time.
Yeah.
Don't enter the bubble.
9
Nope,
times
don't
out
do
of 10, I won't. I'll be like, damn it, and I'll just like let that bubble just run out. Don't even go there.
Well, you bring up something interesting about Iron Banner. My hypothesis for why you don't like playing it, it's not fun.
It's not fun. No, it's really not.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know why.
A big part of that.
Yeah.
Well, I think Bungie probably needs to move away from the game mode that they stuck with in Control for it. Of course, the power discrepancy situation there is better now that artifact power doesn't count.
Yeah.
But it's just not a fun game mode, and there's not really much reason outside of the generic pinnacles to go in there. And that's not always enough of an incentive to get people in there. Thankfully, Bungie is going to be making some changes to Iron Banner starting next season. I think the TWAB even talked a bit about this. We've got a few new Iron Banner weapons coming. And when I say new, I don't mean new as in brought back from like year 1 or year 2 of Destiny 2. They've talked about creating a not a pinnacle reward, but a ritual reward for the Iron Banner and bringing that in. And they even want to do adept weapons for Iron Banner sometime in the future, which is all I think
that would be a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
More adept weapons, seriously, is the reason people are like wanting to dive into GMs more than they did
exactly.
before. Maybe even create a title for Iron Banner. Like, why is that not a thing? Like, we were all sitting here lamenting, like, why were we Iron Lords in D1 and that's literally not even acknowledged in D2? Like, why is that a thing? It's not like everyone won't have access to it. Like, let people grind out that Iron Lord like title.
Yeah.
That would make me go in there because I have every title. And the only one that I didn't guild was Flawless because I'm sorry, I just can't. I just can't. I work weekends, I work weekend nights. And so the only window of time that I have to play Trials is Friday, and it's not even a big window. So it's like I don't even have the time to waste and potentially run into cheaters. And it's just like, to me, it's just like, it's not worth it. Just so that you can wipe it and start over next season. Like that's just not for me. But the changes that they've made on GMs alone just shows that, like, heck, just put a hand cannon in a difficult activity and people will go in and farm it. Yep. Yes, everybody's like, yo, I'm waiting for Pally Adept to be the week, and then I'm gonna farm the crap out of it. And I'm like, see, hand cannons.
Well, and the next time that Palindrome comes around as
the
Adept, it'll be on I believe on the 20th of April. So that'll also be the same day that you can do all 6. You just roll through.
Yeah,
I caught what you did there, TBL. I appreciate it.
Oh my god.
Right. So that actually brings me. We've got a lot more patch notes to talk about. There's 120 hand cannons getting nerfed and a bunch of other stuff. But I wanted to bring up the notion of Grandmasters because, of course, that's something, Silver, you do a lot. You run a lot of Grandmasters. That's something we were talking a little bit about before the show. And Grandmasters, I think, are finally in a fun spot where we not only have a decent amount of strikes that are fun to play through, we have rewards that are worth the challenge of completing the Grandmaster Nightfalls. That was always my issue with the Grandmaster system. There was no real incentive to go through there because dropping some extra infusion mats.
Not to mention the week that they did double loot.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, that made people so happy. I literally gave up sleep so I could grind more of that. Like, I had an itch that I could not scratch. That's how bad I wanted to just grind them GMs out. Like, I was, oh my god, like, it's just my favorite part of the season. Like, I'm no Equagon, like, I can't do like 2K GMs, but I enjoy GMs so much. And me and my partner, Save the Blade, we go week by week figuring out our strats to help people through so that when all 6 drop, we can be like, yo, what do you need? Because we're going to run them regardless. Play with us if you want. I'm not a service streamer, but it's like, yo, I'm going to do this and you can come with me if you want. Or, Sabe and I will try to 2-man it because we love the challenge. We really do. You know, we love playing with friends, viewers. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, ultimately, we're also like figuring out ways to just better ourselves. Like, if it really comes down to carrying someone, are we capable of doing that? You know, like, yeah. Like, I can't imagine doing a double carry, but I would love to, you know, get there someday.
In Grandmasters?
Yeah.
It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me.
Ironically, I'm not even kidding. Last week, my 2 fire team members died at the
Really?
boss, and I had to solo the proving grounds boss and clutch the nightfall.
Oh boy.
Oh my
Wow.
god, that was not the first time I've clutched it, but that was the first time I sat there for 30 minutes just losing my mind with anxiety that I'm just bouncing around through the furnace avoiding this guy because he's pissed that I can't, that I won't die.
That's a hard strike.
Ultimately, it's more systematic than you think. The thing with GMs is you got to figure out the waves of ads. What triggers each wave? And then you take out each wave one at a time, and you're not overwhelming yourself. And then ultimately you're killing all the champions. It's like, it's not that difficult, you know, especially once you figure out, for example, which strikes have the snipers. I'm like, those snipers got to go. They got to go, like, first thing, boom, boom, they got to die immediately, like stuff like that. This week we figured out, for example, when you do the war set, Sabe, actually, credit to Sabe, because I didn't know this, the champions come out at 3 specific points. When the war set hits 35, that's when you find the first one.
Yep.
The second one comes out at 55, and then the third one comes out at 75. So what are you doing standing there just bringing literal hell from both sides of that thing on yourself when those invisible ads are they're gonna come right up on you and shank you.
Yeah.
You literally systematically just go from one side to the other, clear it, and then go down, you know?
We would just do that a little bit.
That room after the war set is something else.
Yeah.
It's bad. I hate that room.
Ramp spaces, exploding shanks.
Yes. Oh my god.
Double banner shield. You'll be fine.
But ultimate, actually, we stasis. People don't like stasis, but stasis in GMs is just, it's clutch.
Yeah,
you know, you're literally free, especially with barriers.
Yeah.
You freeze them, and now they can't shield their homies, and you can take care of the barrier because when that barrier is shielding all the vandals and the overloads, you got a big problem.
Yeah.
Oh, and the sniper shanks, because we love those.
Yeah.
Our favorite.
My buddy.
So yeah, it's literally all systematic. Like, you're just systematically like taking out waves at a time, and just on a harder level, and you just got to be more mindful. That's basically it, of not letting it get out of control. If it gets out of control, that's why it's so hard.
Yeah,
you got to have patience for
yes, absolutely
the encounter. We were running. We didn't get this one through, but we were helping a gentleman earlier today, Mr. Monkey, on PS4, and it was the first time that Mosh Pat had used Shadebinder in the GM. It is nuts, especially with the turret.
Yes,
grenade.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Love it.
He was freezing things all over the place.
Yes. Between that and focusing lens, actually what I find my favorite combination is either Warlock or Hunter with stasis and 2 Chaos Reach. You literally stasis the boss, focusing lens, hit him, that's 1 bar.
Right.
Kill the barrier, kill all the ads. Second Chaos Reach takes out the 2nd bar, and then after that, you literally chip down that 3rd bar, and you just leave that little bit after, because you know the force phase, he goes crazy and chases you.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you're gonna melt him. Like, you're gonna think you're super into him, and you can systematically, like, that room seems chaotic, but it's like
you break it down by mechanic.
You literally break down the mechanics, and it's easier than you think. And so I'll never be like, yo, that's easy. Like, I'm never going to say that to people, but it's like, I've also figured out with my partner how to tackle that very easily.
You find
but stupid mistakes will also punish you and just mess it all up. Like, yeah. Like, sometimes being too close together is a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And my
always
favorite part is, oh, I'm sorry. My favorite part is as soon as you drop down that little spot right there in the opening
Mhm.
that kills you,
Oh yeah.
makes it impossible to grab the res.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bungie. Thank you so much for all the wipes we've had because of that.
We just went down one at a time.
Yep. Don't
I
never at the
literally
same
go,
time.
don't touch the wall. If you cannot touch the wall, just don't touch the
Yeah.
wall, and you'll be
Hands
fine.
up, drop down.
Yeah.
Yep. Just don't touch the wall. I don't even know. Like I kind of see where like what will actually kill you, but it's like just don't touch the wall,
Mhm.
and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the GMs do feel like as long as you understand what you're doing,
Mhm.
anybody can do it. Like
Mhm.
not saying that it's easy, and like there's
Yep.
there's a lot of things in Destiny that are like, okay, if you understand it, anyone can do this.
Yes.
Right.
It's just about knowing the steps. It has very little to do with skill level. Everybody can generally do it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the mindset of a Sherpa, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. I know the challenge looks rough at first when you like when you're bringing somebody through their first raid. They're always inevitably terrified of any sort of responsibility, and it's about showing them, no, you can do this. It's a set step. I'm going to walk you through every single thing that's going on here. As soon as you understand that, as soon as you understand how these encounters work, you can conquer it.
Yeah.
The worst part is when some of these people, not only are they terrified because they don't understand or know how to do it, they're afraid of just getting yelled at or kicked or
Oh
Right.
yeah.
just that's another thing. Like that's what took me a long time to like actually raid myself, was because people were just like just awful.
Yeah.
And so you just need that patient person to be like, no, like it's a fine, like you
Yeah.
know.
We're not
Um,
we're not
yeah.
gonna call your mom. We're not
Right.
gonna
Well,
spread
I
some
might.
evil lies about your real life.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get through this,
Yeah.
and then maybe I'll call
Yeah.
your mom afterward.
Yeah.
Just say
I'll call
she
your
raised
mom
you
to
right.
tell her I'm proud of you. How
Yeah,
about
just
that?
say
That's
she
right.
raised you right.
It'll be celebratory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
That's sadly the biggest fear. Yeah. Mhm.
But you know, so you've worked through that though, because obviously you're a big PvE player now. You're doing Grandmasters on the regular. That leads me to ask. So what's your favorite raid experience here in Destiny? Like between D1 and D2?
King's Fall.
King's Fall. I had a feeling that was gonna be it.
Why?
Because you the way you talk about Grandmasters, about how you break them down by encounter. Every casual player was afraid to do King's Fall because it was the most mechanics heavy raid in Destiny 1. It's still, even considering everything we've got in Destiny 2, it's still one of the more mechanic heavy raids that we've had. But when you break down King's Fall, every encounter has some set steps that, if you follow, are easy to get done. Like Golgoroth's easy to get done. The War Priest is easy to get done when you understand what you're doing, understand your role, understand what the triggers for ads and whatnot are, and you bring it through it. So when you were talking about that, I could see it in my head, like, probably a fan.
Second place is Wrath of the Machine.
What a great raid.
That's my first one.
Adrenaline
Yes,
rush.
definitely a good raid. Access challenge. Oh my god! But it's like I must be a masochist because I enjoy this pain and the challenge of getting it done. Yeah, for the longest time I was definitely just like, I don't want to kill ads. I want to be the one like just handling all the mechanics and making sure this gets done, and like that.
Yeah.
That was just me. Like yeah. It's like it's almost like putting your mind to work, that, and you want that. You want to be doing something that's not mindless, like just killing ads or whatever. I mean, even though that's a role too, like that's got to happen too. But you know, I was never ambitious enough to want to like solo like things back then. Now I'm like just going with my partner, going like, yo, you know, you want to like try to 2-man this, and we'll do it. We'll do it. If we can't, we don't have a third, we'll go in like, you know, and at least figure things out on our own. So it's like nothing really holds us back from doing, at the very least, that. And we learn a thing or two. And we still learn even after going over and over and over again.
That's the way it works. And man, I remember soloing a lot of stuff in D1, like soloing all of Crota's End, soloing Atheon. You had to learn. You had to learn what you were doing to get that kind of stuff done. But it was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you say we get on into some of the new stuff this week and kind of blitz through the rest of those patch notes?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
We talked about the first of the big nerfs, Quick Draw, Fellwinter's Astral
Mhm.
Horizon.
Mhm.
We got that in there. There's other nerfs to like Frenzy, which is the new damage dealing perk that was introduced with Beyond Light.
Mhm.
I think they're knocking the top bonus damage from that from like 20% down to 15%, I
Yeah.
want to say.
It's like they're knocking
Yeah.
at 5%.
Yeah. Which we talked about this when Beyond Light first dropped. Frenzy is so good
Mhm.
because you don't have to do anything to get it.
Right.
It's if you're in combat, you've got Frenzy. And
Yeah.
when you compare that with stuff like Rampage and Feeding Frenzy and all that kind of stuff, it's just a little too easy to get Frenzy active. And I guess Bungie agreed that the damage benefit you get from it is a little too high based on the fact that you don't have to do anything to get it.
Yeah.
So
No
they're
skill
knocking it
perk.
down 5%. Yeah.
No skill
No
perk.
skill perk.
Get
I
rid
mean,
of that.
I get it. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't
don't
really
like it.
use any weapons with that. Like, I really don't use that very
Really?
much. Yeah. I'm always on the hunt for like PvE god rolls more than PvP because I'm very like limited on what I use in PvP as
Mhm.
Right.
opposed to
Yeah.
PvE where like as the mods for the champions change every season, like I want to have that gun that I can bring out and the elements, to match and whatnot.
Yeah.
My Sabe knows that my favorite gun in a GM is Ariana's Vow.
Great gun.
And me and that gun started out where I hated it because I use controller on PC. I know, right?
Right.
And so the recoil on that was just not fun. And eventually I like toughed it out and learned how to use it. And now it's my go-to.
Yeah.
Right.
It's my go-to.
You just have to get used to it resetting. Like the
Yeah.
big
Yes.
bop and then the reset. Like,
I'm
cadence of
also
the shot.
spoiled when it comes to auto loading. Period.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm spoiled.
So yeah, like Frenzy, like you just had to survive for like 12 seconds. And then you're like,
Mhm.
okay, I got it. So
Mhm.
fine.
Literally
fine with-
always active.
Yeah. Fine with a 5% nerf to it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's still gonna be dummy easy to get to get it back up. So
yeah.
I'm not too worried about that one. We also
Yeah,
have
me either.
Reservoir Burst. So now
Right,
increases
yeah.
the magazine size in addition to its other effects, reduced the full battery damage from 33% to 25%. And
wow.
this comes with a couple of notes here. It says upcoming content requires revisiting the power level of a damage perk that can be activated simply by having a full magazine. The second bullet is wink wink, nudge nudge, say no more. So
What?
what's the second loaded
wonder.
question we got?
Oh
Yeah,
my
'cause,
god.
of course, Reservoir Burst is
no.
the loaded question ability, which is a loaded question was a pinnacle weapon from Black Armory.
Yeah.
I want to say
Well, that was a while ago.
that was
Holy.
a
it was-
while ago.
It was so good
It
for
was-
so long.
It was.
Yes.
I'm so
Yes.
mad because it never really kind of got its time in the sun. It was a really good weapon. The Reservoir Burst ability gave it a 33% damage bonus on the first shot of your magazines. While you were full, first shot got a huge damage burst and like blew everything in the room up. And it kind of got overshadowed by, like all the other pinnacles that we had, like Mountaintop and Recluse and whatnot. But I don't know. We never saw that perk on anything else. So Bungie revisiting it here is interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to increase your magazine even further, but they're lowering that damage bonus on that initial shot. What could be coming next season that would have Reservoir Burst?
Oh my god. Are you
I
thinking
actually
what I'm
don't know.
thinking, Pinky?
Depends on what you're thinking, brain.
Yeah, it really depends.
I was thinking Vex.
I'm thinking Vex
Oh god.
because Vault of
I mean,
Glass
that
is
would not
coming next
surprise
season.
me at all.
Right? It's either Vex Mythoclast or Praetorian Foil.
Yeah.
Because Vault of Glass is coming next season.
Yes.
Those are the only two fusion rifles I could think of that Reservoir Burst could possibly fit on.
Nims
The
in
fact
chat
that-
saying the foil, baby.
Victorian foil.
The fact that Bungie will like revisit things is really a good thing, because I hear a lot of feedback on how, we seem to leave things in the past and then they stop being viable. We stop having reasons to do them.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so if they go back and revisit, it's like it kind of fuels that faith that I have in Bungie, that they might forget about something for now, but they'll come back to it. And it's almost like that was the plan all along, and some of us were just too impatient to wait for that. So I'm just here for the ride. I really am. I really am just here for the ride. Like, this game is like my escape from reality. I feel so fortunate to just have something that I'm just so deeply invested in and so passionate about as well, in a way.
Right.
But in my own
Really?
way.
Yeah.
I know some of these people are very passionate in their own way, and that's not quite how I would communicate,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, don't be a racist shit to a community manager's post. That's it.
Yikes.
a
Yeah,
little-
right?
Yeah, that's not
little
passion.
yikes.
That's just
Yeah, but we care about the game so much, and it's like, okay, all
Yeah.
right, cool.
I'm sure,
all
Junior.
right. I just don't. That's just not how you handle that. But okay. But
Right.
I'm mostly just here for the ride, honestly. Yes, the game could always use improvement, but isn't that the thing in life? Nothing's perfect. You
Yeah.
can always improve. So I'm okay with the way things are. Like, if I
Right.
see something that could use improvement, then yeah. Like, I have not found myself at a point where it's like, you know what, like, I'm just not feeling this game, I want to go play something else. I personally have not experienced that. So the game does enough for me that I don't feel like my needs aren't being met.
Right.
I feel like by the time I get to GMs, I'm like, yes, let's go. And that's
to
all
go.
I'm gonna be doing is that, and then the cycle resets, because now you got to regrind, and it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and it's just
Well,
the cycle.
and the grind next season,
know.
starting next season, is going to be a little bit less. You're only going to have
Yeah.
about 10 power levels that you're going to have to go through.
Only 10 levels to
So-
go through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, let's so for more of the notes, we have aggressive frame hand cannons.
Getting bopped.
Yeah, they're getting bopped.
Oof, thank God.
20s, they say the aggressive hand cannons are very dominant in PvP, and we've received enough feedback that we want to rein them in a bit without completely taking away their range benefits. These weapons will now have damage and aim assist fall off distance reduced by between 2 and 4 meters based on the range stat, and this roughly halves the
Right.
range they received in Beyond Light.
I'm okay with that.
I am
because-
100% okay with that. Mhm.
Yeah, they're not cutting into the range that these things had before Beyond Light. 120's got a sizable range boost when Beyond Light came out that basically put them into scout rifle distance. They're outperforming scouts and basically everything else. So cutting back on that bonus range they got with Beyond Light, I think is probably the right choice there.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's definitely an issue when you load into a game and you're like, oh, they're using 120s, and now you either have to pull out your own
Yep.
or deal with it. And
Let's
I
do
hate to be that
steady
person,
hand,
but I just
hammer,
deal with
steady
it because I don't
hand.
like any of the 120s. I feel
They're
like
not my favorite
the,
archetype.
yeah, the recoil is just for me, it's just too much. I feel like if you want to hit that hard, the recoil hits just as hard, and I don't like that. Which is fair, but I don't like that. I don't.
I've been enjoying True Prophecy quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the past,
Okay.
like, so I had to delete my vault for a charity thing, and that was one of the roles that still stuck around though.
Mhm.
And it was for Unstoppable. Mine has overflow and timed payload, which means that it doesn't take any of that range damage off, or any of the damage off from the range. So I get no penalty from that. So the Unstoppables are done when I hit them. But I mean, yeah, I don't use them much in PvP. I wonder how this is going to affect PvE. But I have, with no range fall off for that perk, I don't think I really have to worry about it too much.
Yeah. You get the same benefit.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's see here. We have Vortex Frame Swords.
That made me mad.
Oh God, yes. Why?
See,
like,
I'm more mad about the next thing. than I am.
Lament.
Oh
Just
yeah.
yeah.
Lament.
It ties
Chip
in.
damage.
Ties into Lament with the chip damage. So vortex frame swords with fallen guillotine now viable forever. We need to adjust it. We need to adjust it a little, as its damage output is flat out higher than all other legendary swords. With this change, we allow it to keep its high damage output, but are reducing its full reserves damage output by reducing the number of heavy attacks you'll be able to perform. So full energy heavy attack ammo cost is increased from 4 to 6. So it's like they're increasing it based off of just how much it burns rather than how much damage you can do, right?
So you can still do the same damage, but you can't just like endlessly like
You're gonna
do
get
your
less.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just going to cost more. It's going to cost more to do that.
I mean, I guess we're still gonna do it. It's just gonna be like, yeah, just not gonna be able to just like completely like lean into it and yeah.
Swing forever.
You're still going to be able to lean into it. It's just the spin to win is going to cost you. Like the win is going to cost you 2 energy.
It was just too free. It was way too free, I guess, you know. I guess. Yeah.
I find it interesting. I'm glad they didn't just knock down the damage again, because they did that a couple of updates ago. Remember, they knocked down.
Do you remember when swords were completely worthless? Like it was like, why would I use a sword? Why would I use a sword?
Right. And so I'm glad they didn't just knock down the damage of it again. What they're doing here is it's still going to deal the same amount of damage per swing. You're just going to get less swings overall because it's going to eat more ammo. But it's funny to me because they changed the entire way that swords worked by adding in, the whole energy charging melee system and whatnot to sword play to limit the amount of swings you were getting with stuff like falling guillotine. But I guess that wasn't enough. They were still seeing too much usage of it out there in the PvE world.
I mean,
you can
do
a lot of damage with swords.
Yep.
You could literally sword the shank in this week's GM. You can do it if you have the timing down right. That's a problem. If you can completely crap on a GM boss with a sword.
To be fair, if it didn't want to get hit by a sword, it wouldn't ground pound you.
True that.
Right?
Right.
Don't you just love when it pounds you and then it snipes you like point blank as you're falling away from it? It's like, what?
Oh, I love being pounded into a wall.
I've always,
I'm here.
Well, I wasn't going to say that because that's very clip-worthy.
I love being killed by physics. I love it. Just that's my favorite way to die is physics. Just slamming into the wall because I couldn't do anything. I actually, season 1 of GMs, you could sword Zon to death.
Yeah.
If you didn't let him burn you first, the timing, you could sword him to death.
Burn him.
Boom, GM boss done. It was a joke. So I get it. I get it. It's just don't ruin swords for us, please.
And they didn't, to be fair.
They didn't attack. They didn't take any of the attack power away. They just took your ammo, which
is making it cost more. Yeah. I'm okay with it.
The bit that irks me, because this was kind of like something that was in the background, right? This was something that, like, if you knew, you knew, for the most part. Chip damage. Certain weapons, all swords have chip damage, and Bastion bypass shields by varying amounts, which has caused numerous issues with stasis, encased enemies, and counter mechanics and other content. We have removed chip damage from swords and Bastion. What that means is, with chip damage, like, it was wonderful because it bypassed any elemental shield that was on it. So, using Falling Guillotine, if you went up against an enemy with a solar shield, it didn't matter. It just
didn't matter.
It bypassed that and it just attacked the health. That like I said,
that was something I would constantly forget, actually.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Everybody
would always go like, oh, you can like go right through the shield. And I would just not think about that half the time that I was doing it. And now it's like, I can't do it anymore.
If you knew, you knew. Or if you watched an esoteric video, you knew.
Yes.
And so, like, that, it means that, like, this season, I think I'm going to have to do the solo prophecy. and just get that knocked out. Like, I
feel like the more people wait, the more you're gonna get punished. Like, what was it? Was it last season or the season before that when we had taken ornaments?
Yeah.
You wanted to get all these solo activities done back then when the ammo was free, stuff like that.
Hidden.
And then like it's like between that and I have friends that just go like, I'll just do the GM. I'll just do Conqueror next season, and they're just getting harder and harder. In a way, they're just getting harder and like kind of less free. It's like, why are you waiting? I've done Conqueror every season, and then some.
Done.
Something.
Yeah, it's like, why are you waiting?
Something always pops up though. I mean, like the what is it? The taken strength or whatever you can add to your weapons.
Taken spec.
Taken spec still works.
Yeah. Yes.
Outside of the ring.
Yes.
So
yes.
With that, we will go into the exotics because I think that chip damage falls heavily into the Lament and to the Bastion category here.
Yeah. Yep.
So with the Lament, this weapon is a clear outlier for sword damage. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
So for the
health, absolute beast.
Yeah. So for the health of heavy weapon diversity, we're pulling it back a bit. Reduced damage of revved heavy attack by approximately 16%. That's where you're seeing an actual nerf to damage. They know that the Lament retains standard anti-barrier despite removing the chip damage. So
that combo is going to hit a little less hard.
Yes. So bring some Titans with Thunder Crash to your Atrax party.
That hasn't been nerfed yet.
Yeah, that hasn't been nerfed yet. Hold on one second here. I gotta add this in. And then the last bit was Bastion. Since we're removing chip damage, Bastion gets something else instead. We've noticed increased feedback on Bastion and higher than normal usage in PvP.
Yeah.
So we're making a small change here, and we'll revisit Bastion later. It intrinsically staggers unstoppable champions.
I like that.
Yep. With increased spread angle by 13%.
Don't like that.
Jesus.
So Bastion is just one of my favorite little things. It was instantly one of my faves when it dropped. That was what, spring of last year?
Yeah.
I want to say with the corridors of time and all of that.
Oh, yes.
Wow, what an event.
Yeah.
So I like that it's going to intrinsically stop unstoppable champions. I am going to miss the chip damage bypass on Bastion because it was actually rather strong. Nobody uses it in PvE, but it was actually really great for match game, end level content, since it was something like 30, 33, maybe 33 to 40% of the damage that your shot did bypass shields. So you could just erase health in a couple of shots. And considering Bastion shoots like 21 bolts per shot, it was like, what, 3 times the amount of shots that normal fusions shoot. It's a pretty heavy hitting weapon. It's basically a heavy weapon. And I can see what they're doing here. The big problem with Bastion and Crucible is, of course, again, 21 bolts. You only need to land a few of those to secure a kill at any range with Bastion. So by increasing the spread, they're looking to make it harder to get consistent hits at any sort of range outside of close range with it.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to see if 13% is going to be enough, because it's a silly gun.
Well,
very silly gun.
My question with that is, I know hand cannons with Unstoppable. If the Unstoppable bolt is procced, you can stagger other enemy types with it.
Yes.
Outside of, so does that mean that Bastion would automatically stagger?
I hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too. Yeah.
I'm not a big Bastion user, I'm gonna tell you right now. So I literally don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I would like to explore it, because I always would like to go, holy crap, this is like I don't know, this is a gem that I've been ignoring this whole time. Like I like things like that. But no, I've not been a Bastion user. I have, like, obviously going into the Crucible and I see it on the other team, I'm like, fuck.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
It's like, don't get too close.
Yeah.
Basically, but otherwise, no, I just haven't been super aware of what it's capable of, other than it slaps in PvP.
Yeah.
That's my only association to it.
Yeah.
So it would be
that's
nice
where most people use it.
Yeah.
So hopefully with these changes, though, it'll see some increased usage in PvE. I don't know if Bastion was ever meant to be a PvP weapon.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those oh no, oops, we kind of busted this thing sending it out the door.
What
Yep.
I would love to know is, so you remember the Corridors of Time event, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You know how we found out, like, the Guardian was like buried with a fusion, with a fusion.
Yes.
I would love to know why that is. It's almost like
He
we like
was
we like fusion we like fusion rifles. Like
he was buried
don't
with the
even
thing
kid
that
yourself.
murdered him, as was his wishes.
Pretty.
As was his last wish.
So a couple of other things that are in the TWAB this week. So they're saying to dismantle all your shaders, because beginning in season 14, they will be overhauling the shader system and how shaders can be applied to armor. Due to that overhaul, shaders will become permanent unlocks, and all shaders in players' inventories will be removed. That means you won't be able to get glimmer or legendary shards out of them. So just go ahead, just
rid of them
wipe.
now.
You don't need them. Just get rid of them. It's free. Just get rid of them.
I feel like if they remove them and I get nothing out of it, I'm not gonna be sad about it, because I just have so many materials. It's not funny. I hate it. I play this
Right.
game so much that materials. I'll be like people are hurting for ascendant shards. I'm sitting here masterworking crappy exotics just so I can like put one shard away per exotic so I can get something back. That's
Yeah.
how many I have. I just, and I haven't had to tap into any of them. That should tell you something about the amount of like I have too many, and then some people are like, "Oh, I just can't find a group so I can like buy Anarchy," and that just hurts my soul to hear that, because I was like trying to help people get that last, like, back when it was in Scourge of the Past.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you're just hurting because you can't afford to basically buy these weapons from the kiosk, and it's like it's crazy to me. It really is. But I mean, some people don't have time. Some people can't find a group. It's always a million different reasons. But I try to be that difference, that person that people go like, where the heck were you like before this point? Like there should be more people like you. That's who I want to be. Is like that difference. That can just help out people when they've not been able to find that help anywhere else for some reason. And I know what that feels like. So like, I know what that, like, almost that alienating feeling, people that are solo players, not because they want to be, because they have no choice, and like, I try to make that difference, especially on this game. Because this game has just been so like meaningful to my life that it's like, I just want to share that feeling with everybody. Like, yo, this game could be so beautiful. Like, there's some things that you just haven't like experienced, so. Things like that. Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
I can dig that.
Also, the last thing did they take down the Bungie, like the Destiny 2 extension for any period of time this week?
I believe
they
said
did.
They would. Yes.
They said they would at least.
I thought that they like. I had heard tell that you could get trials tokens.
I heard
early,
that too.
Which is why they took it down. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
I just read the alert that they had taken it down for a bit. I didn't look into why. I just figured it wasn't working.
Same here.
That's what I heard.
Oh no.
So that's hearsay.
Oh, no.
However, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, I guess I'm glad they nipped that in the bud, because I hadn't even heard about that. And you know me, I love cheese.
Yep.
I would delve right into cheese.
I'll check back in on that, and I'll report next week.
Remember, bring it alongside pictures of Spider-Man.
All right, we'll do.
Oh my god.
Other than that, I think that's all the news fit to print this week.
Right on. I think that takes us to the question and answer part of the show.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So, Gray Fox asks, with the huge patch notes set for Season 14, are you looking forward to the story or the changes to the Sandbox transmog? Or Crucible changes more? So story, Sandbox, transmog, Crucible changes. Which are you most looking forward to?
transmog.
Yeah.
Because it's so funny. I'm pretty
Right.
sure I have some godly gear in my vault.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that I don't use it ever is because I care about how I look, even though my current gear, one of the things that has always annoyed me about the ornaments, right? When you can change your look, is that they lock Crucible ornaments on Crucible gear. So you can't
Yep.
I can only put, for example, the Trials of the Nine, you can only do that on Trials. And so
Yep.
there was a period of time where between them bringing Trials back and, you know, when Trials of the Nine was around, there was a period of time where when they changed the armor system, I could no longer wear the original gear because they didn't have perks, it couldn't do anything, and I had to leave it behind. So
It hurts.
it hurts. Yeah. So like fashion is endgame. and I want to have good
100%.
stats. I want to have good stats, but I want to look the way I want to look. So it's like, so yes, transmog for sure. After
That's my
that,
answer too.
I just want to I just want to just like, you know, let it hit me. Like just let the changes for the sandbox hit me. The story doesn't interest me as heavily as it, you know, as it might others. Like I hate to say it, like it's just not fascinating to me for some reason. Because I just don't pay attention to it. I just dive in and play, you know, I just dive in and play
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, I just want to just deal with the changes and
Yeah.
start figuring out how to adapt to something that you can't change. That's it, basically.
Yeah.
So that's where
Right
I
on.
stand. Yeah.
While I am looking forward to transmog,
Mm-hmm.
because believe me, I want to look the way I want to. I got some.
Mm-hmm.
We all have some blue gear that we want to
Yeah.
make it look permanent.
Yeah.
I'm actually really invested in the story of Destiny right now, and
It's pretty good.
they've been
Oh,
making
okay.
some really solid choices all the way all the way through. And if they're able to continue the level of storytelling that they've had this season, no guarantees that they will be able to, right? But they're doing some interesting things, and I really want to see. I'm tuning in each week to see what happens, which isn't something that
Right.
necessarily I would have done before, like for the
Yeah.
story at least.
I've noticed that it's really good. It's just that it's like I just like it's definitely gotten good,
Mhm.
but I'm sort of indifferent to it at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, it's gotten a lot better, and people are happy, and I'm glad to see that. But like, I don't really give a crap.
Well-
Like it took me. You don't understand how long it took me to watch that cutscene. That the one, you know, the I think the last one that it was.
Yeah.
When they tried to kill Zavala, basically.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
I was almost like halfway through the week before I actually saw it, because that's how I was more interested in diving into GMs than I was
Yeah.
into that. So that in itself should tell you that I was just like, no. Yeah.
To me, it means a lot that there are people are invested in a character outside of Cade, which I think
Yeah. Right.
is the big thing at this point in time. Because like with Cade's character death, I mean they killed Mickey Mouse. Right?
Pretty
Like,
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's Destiny's mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a keychain with him
Yeah.
on it. Like I know.
It hurts. It
Yeah.
still hurts to this
So-
day. Like it still does.
But yeah, I don't know, the fact that people are starting to get invested more in the characters that are in the game now rather than have passed or moved on means something, I think. I at least for the longevity.
I'm glad we're all on the same page that they should never try to bring Cade back.
Are we on the same page?
I really hope we are, because please don't,
No
please
comment.
please don't cheat his death by bringing him back somehow, just voiced by someone. I don't know
Oh, yeah,
what.
no,
Oh my
I don't.
God, I'm spacing on the who does Ghost voice. I don't remember.
Nolan North. Yeah.
No,
Yes, he
Nathan
can do Cade's
Fillion,
voice,
Nolan
but
North
please
covered it.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
Nathan Fillion is bust.
Just let him
I can.
What if they bring him back? Like
I don't think they're going to bring him back.
I don't think
no, as part of the
not anytime
darkness, just to
soon.
make it like hurt more.
I can see them doing like voice logs or something, like hiring him on to do voice logs for like an exotic quest or something down the line, or like remember the stashes that we used to have to go through and find?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Oh, we found some more Cade stashes. Cool.
Go listen to him.
Radaka asks, what kind of activity would you like to see for next season? Something that isn't Battlegrounds.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh my god, Sundial was probably the best seasonal activity that they ever made.
Sundial was a lot of fun.
Everything after that, I've been gradually just less and less and less interested. This season, like I feel like I'm completely behind on seasonal content because it's just not interesting. I can see how it should be, but it's not. It's really not. And that's an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me Menagerie any day of the week. Just
Menagerie was great too.
That too.
And we've got the whole Cabal Empire storyline going on right now.
Just
Bring it back.
We have Presage. We have the Glycon. What if the Glycon has its own freaking dark twisted menagerie? I'm all into that.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Ditto.
Demon Fox asks, do you think Bungie will bring back Vex Mythoclast in the day one raid race or make it a weapon quest like they have done in seasons prior?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because on one part of me wants to say that they'd want to preserve that sort of experience of beating Atheon or whoever's going to be the boss of the remade Vault of Glass and then getting that drop at the end.
Yeah.
Especially, with the World First race, they always grant it to everybody on the World's First team. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to surprise us with something different as the exotic tied to Vault of Glass and then just have the Mythoclast be like a separate exotic quest. Sort of like how, what was it back in King's Fall? The Touch of Malice was tied to King's Fall, but didn't necessarily directly drop from it. It was a quest that went alongside it. I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm. I can see them. I can see them wanting to surprise us.
I think they should definitely do that.
Yeah.
I think they should definitely do that. Yeah.
It would be interesting to see, like, oh, man, what if we got like a weird taken version of the Vault of Glass where Toland was leading you through to get a taken version of the Vex Mythoclast.
Oh no. That sounds
God.
pretty neat.
I'd be into that, I think.
I think we all we all get caught up in the nostalgia of the past content, but it would be nice to see like almost like a different spin on it. So it's like a little of what you used to play with something new. Because I doubt all of us want. I mean, I'm sure some of us would, but not all of us want the raids literally ported exactly the way they were. Like, It's just we want something a little bit shiny and new, but familiar in a way.
I want
at least for some of us.
Yeah, for Vault of Glass, I want the Rose Path. I want that still. However, I want the maze, getting through the Harpy maze. I want that to be different.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I want that to be something new too.
Yeah, because if I can still do the same waited out tactics, and make it through, I don't know.
It'll get boring very quickly because it's familiar in the beginning. You're like, yay, we're back, but you'll get bored. You'll get bored, and you don't want that. You want it to just be like, holy crap! Like they really they brought it back, but it's not the same. But it's not like I don't hate it,
right?
Because some people don't like that. Like for example, there's Crucible maps from D1 that they brought to D2 that I loved in D1, but it does not translate the same way emotionally in D2.
Mm-hmm.
And so it almost feels like, man, what did they do? They ruined it because this used to be my favorite over here, and over here I hate it. I don't look forward to seeing this map. So, you
Right.
kind of just hope that they can spin it in a way that, you'll just be like really happy with what changes they made, but that they didn't completely make it unrecognizable,
Yeah.
basically. So, that's going to be a very interesting thing. Like,
It still has to hit the same notes in certain regards.
yes. Yes.
It has to hit the same notes while also throwing something new at you.
Exactly. Because it's still technically a shiny new toy in this game.
Yeah.
For some people that didn't play D1. I'm still to this day surprised some of the people that just didn't play Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. But it's almost like finding that sweet spot for both sides where it's like, some of us are like, like, oh, like I remember like Vault of Glass. And for those that didn't experience it, they like enjoy it, almost just as much,
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to be interesting. We got the veterans, I guess, that, were in D1, and then we got the people that have no clue because they never played it. So it'll be an interesting meeting of the two sides, I guess.
Yeah. Final question of the night comes from the Ninja Rockstar. Do you think Bungie should make it easier to earn seasonal weapons in future events with double perk drops? So
I'm very finicky about things being easier to obtain because I've seen the way people react when things just become too easy to get. Like when quote unquote pinnacle weapons are just like they're just too easy to get. I sometimes I feel like this game can be too rewarding.
Yeah.
It can be.
see
Unless
the
it's something
penumbral
that's
Ingram.
unless it's something that's oh
Yeah.
god, I'm getting to the point where I'm just deleting them straight up. I don't even care. I just delete them like as they are. That's not good. It was too much. It was just too much. Like I just feel like it's too rewarding unless it's something that's highly desirable that you want to grind for. Like Pally, like everybody wants this,
That's something worthwhile.
Everybody wants it, yeah. And so double drops, it's like double the chance, potentially double the chance to get that role that you're looking for. And if not, then you go in and do it again,
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just really weird about I'm not saying like no, you gotta grind for it because D1 was like very unforgiving about oh, the grind in D1 was real for things. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think you cover most of it there.
Yeah.
A lot of the seasonal weapons aren't really that difficult to get as they are right
Mhm.
now. You've got multiple
Yes.
sources for a lot of things. With the return of the Umbral Engram system, you can kind of target your grind towards specific weapons and whatnot. So I really don't think it's too difficult to get any particular weapon as it is right now. Even the exclusive seasonal stuff like the Vanguard weapons from Nightfalls. We were just talking about Palindrome,
Mhm.
Swarm, Shadow Price. It's pretty easy to get those. You just get to a high enough power level where you can farm normal Nightfalls, and then if you want the Adept version, you can farm Grandmaster
Yeah.
Nightfalls. I think Bungie has made some pretty good strides toward meeting that perfect balance between having a lot of loot that's worth going after and not making you chase it too long.
Mhm.
At least when it comes to some of the seasonal stuff. So
I mean,
Yeah.
I still
I
want.
think they're in a decent spot.
I still need to get a new royal entry, so we'll see how that goes.
Gotta run them strikes.
Yeah. Rockstar responded, right now to get one weapon with 2 end perks, it takes 5 whole charges from the hammer. That's crazy. I mean,
Oh, okay, that's what he
I'm-
means. All right,
that's what he means.
I'm just completely awful at that. I
Yeah,
went and looked at it the other day and I just went, wow, I don't have any hammer charges. Oh wait, I don't play that part.
I'm not gonna go do that.
Ooh, I'm not gonna go do that.
Yep, I'm not gonna go do that.
Maybe when we get to the point where like you can't obtain this title anymore or whatever, you know what I mean? Like once you get to the point where this is not available for you anymore, you're like, oh god, I gotta run in and get all this stuff done. And then you start grinding the seasonal content because you don't want to miss out. Maybe then, but it's like right now it's like
Yeah.
no, I
not gonna
find
go
more
grind out
interest
those
in
charges.
GMs. I find more interest in that. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go do that's
And
a
you s-
problem. That's
And
a
that was a
problem.
part of it was a part of the prismatic recaster system from last year, where when you
Yeah.
fully upgraded that thing, unlocked all the perks on the prismatic recaster, you could start targeting loot that had multiple in perks on it that you could select in a tree. And I see
Yeah.
Bungie. I'm glad Bungie brought that back. I'm not happy they tied it to hammer charges because
It's
I
just
don't
too
really have much of a
much.
reason to go do battleground now.
Yeah,
And
they
I'm
want
not
you
going
to
to do
do
that.
battlegrounds. That's
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna.
well,
You
and
can't
like,
make me.
Basically, it's supposed to play out like you're grinding these out so that you can
Mhm.
get the engrams.
right.
And while we want to grind, we don't want to grind that. So
Nope.
puts us in a weird position because it's like, yeah, I want to grind, but not that. No. Can I get these somewhere else? No.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wonder if maybe in well, I mean, they haven't done it with the Season of the Hunt stuff, so who knows?
That was
But
pretty hit or miss.
I think it was, for me it was more miss. The Season of the Hunt stuff was
Yeah.
way more miss. I
It
still haven't
absolutely
done.
it could have been better.
I
It could have
finished
been
the
so
war
much better.
table. I didn't finish the lore.
Mhm.
If that says
Okay.
anything. And it's
Okay.
like I with the system as it is right now,
Huh.
I think it is fine during peak season stuff because they want you to play what they have to offer that season. However, next season in like season 15, they need to knock back those hammer charges just a tad. Or else people aren't going to play that active. I don't know how many of you guys go back through and do the hunts.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about them until I started answering this question.
There was only a very, very brief time during the beginning of the season when you're leveling up and you need that one piece of gear to just drop at at your light so that you can
Right.
have an even, power distribution on all your gear. And that was actually ironically a really good way to target, like, I need arms. Like, not pinnacle arms, but I need arms. And that was a good way to do it. But otherwise, it's completely useless now. Like, I have no
Yeah.
reason to do it. Absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
I'm not after any roles, nothing. Like, it's just abandoned. And that's yet another thing where, an activity just becomes something that nobody wants to do.
Look,
There's no reason to do it.
I like MF Crow anyway. Give me MF Crow any day at the helm.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear from
Yes.
him spitting mad rhymes on the
Right.
helm instead of this imposter who's hanging out with what's his name? With Spider. That crow is not my crow.
That's
Helm
so funny
Crow,
to me.
MF
It's
Crow
so funny
is
that
my
they
crow.
still have them both there. That's funny.
I think that goes away after this season.
I think
he's
so, too.
fully
Yeah.
going to be in the
Yeah.
helm next season. But yeah,
That's funny though.
that's how I feel.
So, other than that, that's all the questions.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, all right then, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe that is a show. Thanks so much for tuning in to episode 274 of the Planet Destiny podcast. And a very special thanks to our special guest tonight, Silverspeare. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
It was this was fun.
Heck yeah.
I
It was
it.
great.
Happy
Oh my
birthday.
g-
Happy
Oh,
birthday,
thank you.
by the way.
Thank you so much. Such an ironic day to do this. I love it.
No, I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect. I told you you're going to do fine. It's fine.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So happy birthday, and thank you for spending your birthday here with us.
I mean, thank you for inviting me. Seriously, this means the world to me. This is my first podcast, so it's like I can check that off.
Wow.
Yes, things. Yeah,
First
that's why I was nervous.
podcast
Really,
On
My
her
first podcast.
birthday.
yes, on my
This is-
30th
there we go.
birthday.
Hey,
Oh God, a
Getting
milestone.
accolades.
We just
Yeah.
checking things off.
Yeah.
Across the board here, we really
Just gonna
are.
gild that title right there.
Yep.
Just
Gild the-
just take care of your
gild the,
knees.
Oh yeah.
Guild the title content creator podcast.
Just
I got
start
it.
taking real nice care of your knees. You're gonna need them for much longer than just 30
Everything.
years.
Oh God. Oh God.
Listen, everything hurts.
You say that like I'm not already experiencing that.
Oh boy.
Welcome. Welcome to our world.
Yep.
But it was
Adulting,
fantastic to have you
it
here.
sucks. Thank you.
It was great to have you here. I would love to have you back in the future, literally anytime you would like to. And
Absolutely, like anytime. We'll have to figure it out because, as you know, actually normally I would be at work right now. As of like an hour and a half ago, I would have been at work for a 12-hour shift. So Saturdays and Sundays are just normally I'm not around. I'm usually at work. So if I am ever in the situation where I'm off on a Sunday, I'll let you know. I'll
Yeah.
let you know because this is not
Right on.
normal whatsoever for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, all
This was
right.
nice.
Before we get on out of here, of course, we do want to give you the opportunity to again let everybody know where they can find you all across the internet and what you've got coming up. So if you'd like to take the floor, please take it away.
So you can find me basically on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube technically isn't up and running, but I throw it out there. TikTok, I'm Silverspeare on all of them. I'm lucky enough to have that. I'm just gonna basically continue grinding Grandmasters, and once all 6 drop, I'm gonna be going even harder than I have been, which is really bizarre because I don't know how I can do that, but I will do that. To help people, get their completions, get their guns they want, the titles, whatever they need. I just want a game and help you in the process, and it's a 2-in-1. It's
Right on.
mutually beneficial. So I'm just gonna keep vibing, as one would say, and having a good time wherever I can. So yeah, basically that's it.
I can dig that.
Silverspeare, and you'll find me.
The only one out there.
I'm literally like very active on social media. Like people tell me like, "Oh, I've seen you in a Twitterverse." I'm like, "Yeah," because like I have a Twitter addiction. I'm pretty sure. But I'm
Be very
always
careful about content
interacting.
addictions. Be very
I
careful about
know.
content addictions.
I'm just.
Do you want to start a podcast next week? I'm sorry. I need to stop.
I'm just like, I love interacting with people. Like I've made so many friends doing that.
The way of the world. That's good stuff. So everybody, make sure you go and follow
Yeah.
Silverspeare everywhere. We got that link tree down there. Go check her out. Send her some love. Peep into those live streams there. It's always good stuff. And again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was wonderful to have you here.
This was amazing. I loved it. This was
It was great to have you here.
definitely was in good hands. I will say that.
Oh, we
do
got
what we
you.
can.
Yep.
All right. As for us, Mr. Danfinity, what you got going on, man?
Oh, hi. My name's Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and the TikTok at Danfinity, where the eyes are L's. You can also find me on Twitch 3 days a week. Twitch.tv/Danfinity. We're playing some Destiny. I might be outriding a little bit more this week now that they got some of the crossplay stuff done.
And your inventory's not going to get wiped for playing with your friends?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't made it to endgame yet, so like.
Oh, okay. That was the thing that was going on.
I've got the week off, so I'm sure I'll hit it. But yeah, I'm pretty easy. What? So have you been playing Outriders?
I have been playing a lot of Outriders.
Okay. What did you pick?
I bought it. Techno. I'm a techno boy.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how overtly busted that class was when I picked it. So I'm glad I picked it.
Of course.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And by the way, everybody, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. This week, gonna be having some Outrider streams coming up. I got it on Thursday or Friday. Been playing it all weekend. Having a lot of fun. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised with it. Because I played the demo. I thought the demo was all right. Yeah. It didn't necessarily grab me. I thought it was a fun time. When I finished the content in there, I was like, yeah, I could play more of this.
The pink fluorescent fuck you said it all to me.
Yeah, it just
yeah,
put it all together. It brought it all together. So I wound up getting it, and I've actually, I got to say, I'm really enjoying my time on Outriders. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of depth there. It's pretty good, and it doesn't look like it's going to be an Anthem experience in a year. So
yeah,
that's nice.
It's great to see. It's great to see like all the homies just finding like a deep interest in another game that's not Destiny, especially when some of them are very frustrated with Destiny, and I'm like, I get it, and I hate to be that person, but I kind of low key am one of those people that goes, stop complaining and go play another game.
Just go play something else.
And if Apex does that for you, that's great. That's great.
Right?
Outriders,
Exactly.
fantastic. I just want to see you happy, and I want to hear you stop complaining. I want to hear you complain less,
Yeah.
because obviously that's not
Right.
making it better for you. So like, do
Yeah.
something that will actually make you happy. I have no interest in Outriders. It's like when I watch my friends stream it, I'm not paying attention to what you're doing. I'm here to interact with you and chill.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just here to hang out because I don't care about the game. That's just me. No, but just because I'm pretty sure if I had interest, somebody would probably gift it to me, and I'm just like, please don't, because then I feel obligated to play it, and I really don't want that.
I gotta play it then.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I have no interest, so just please don't do that.
It is just real dumb fun.
Yeah,
it's dumb fun.
With
That's
some of
what I'd
the
call it.
weirdest voice acting I've seen in video games, and some of the weirdest writing I've seen in video games. I'm here for it. I'm 100% there for it. I
feel the same way about the story and like some of the voice acting in the game. And somebody described it to me as like, no, it's like a B-tier sci-fi channel movie. And I was
it's like a C or D.
that's
dude.
perfect. That's what it is. It's some tier of sci-fi channel movie.
Wow.
But it's dumb. It's a dumb fun game, and I'm enjoying.
I don't
my
know
time
anything. I don't know anything about the game at all.
You don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to know much. Just go in.
Yeah.
Man, the way they redid that Skyrim thing was great.
Boy.
Anyways.
Wow.
I think that's our show.
Interesting experience. But anyways, that's what I've been doing, and that's probably what you'll be seeing on my channel moving forward. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 274 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to This Week in Destiny. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next week.